If rhinestones keep flying off your costume on stage, you're not alone. Turns out it's not just about adding sparkle. It's about using the right stones, glue, and technique so they stay on through a series of shimmies and quick changes. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to rhinestone your costume the right way. Hi everyone, it's Mel from Sparkly Belly. Let's get started. So there are two types of rhinestones that are perfect for dance costumes. The first one is sew-on rhinestones. These are the ones with flat backs and holes. Applying these is super easy. Simply take a double-threaded needle and make a nice knot at the end. Place your rhinestone on fabric and sew through the holes 2 to 3 times. Tie a knot on the wrong side and that is it. Sew-on rhinestones are great for adding large sparkles on your dance costumes, and it's easy to sew on. But it does take time. What if you want lots more sparkles? That's where these glue-on rhinestones come in. They are smaller and also have flat backs. My favorite sizes for dance costumes are SS20 to SS30. They are about 5 to 6.5 millimeters or 1/4 inch or so they're not too small and the sparkles are visible from a distance too. By the way, if you're searching for flatback rhinestones, you might come across the term hot fix. These hot fix rhinestones use heat to stick, but I don't really recommend them for dance costumes. Heat can damage fabrics like spandex, and it's really hard to apply them accurately on curved surfaces like bra tops. So for these glue-on rhinestones, I always like to keep these SS20 rhinestones in crystal AB on hand. AB stands for Aurora Borealis, and it has this beautiful rainbow shimmer that really catches the light. I almost never use sew-on rhinestones on their own. I like to scatter these SS20s around them to add that extra sparkle that moves with the light on stage. So let's talk about applying these glue-on rhinestones. You need a few tools. Rhinestone pickers. These can be as simple as this kind of a toothpick with a piece of wax or a poster putty or rhinestone picker pencil. Tray or plate to keep your rhinestones in, and rhinestone glue. So let's talk about what glue to use. There are two popular options, E6000 and Gem-Tac. I've used them both and they both work well with rhinestones and they both dry clear. But my personal preference is Gem-Tac. It's got nice texture and holds the rhinestones pretty well. It's white so you can easily see where you applied the glue. E6000 has got this stringy texture which can get messy, and also the smell is pretty strong, so I recommend Gem-Tac. Now let me tell you about another tool you might find useful, and that's glue syringe. It's easy to use and you can apply glue precisely on your garment. So first take a syringe, pull out the plunger and screw on the tip. Hold the syringe parallel to the floor and insert the tip of the glue and squeeze out as much glue as you need for your project. You can add more later, so I recommend you start with a small amount. Close the cap for your glue quickly and take the plunger and insert the tip. Now hold the syringe vertically so that the glue falls to the bottom and the air goes up. This way you don't have to deal with air bubbles while working on your project. Once the glue has come down, slowly push the plunger up until the glue reaches the tip. Hold the syringe nice and sturdy like this so your thumb is free to push the plunger. Slowly push the plunger and you can make small dots of glue on your project. As you can see, glue like E6000 is thick and stringy, so it helps to push in the syringe to the fabric surface before you lift it off. To pause, pull the plunger back a little so it stops oozing out. Then simply place your rhinestones. I'll include a link to places where you can buy glue syringes down below. So now let's apply rhinestones to a dance costume. There are two ways to go about it. If you want to apply rhinestones directly to your costume, first check if your fabric has any stretch. If not, you can go ahead and start applying glue and rhinestones. If your fabric has stretch, you need to stretch the fabric first to make sure the rhinestones won't start flying off when you put on your costume. You can use a piece of cardboard a little larger than your garment and wrap it like this with plastic wrap. Then insert it in your costume so it stretches out. Then go ahead and apply rhinestones. It's fun to use stencils like this one too. It's nice to frame edges of your outfit with rhinestones and add sparkles around appliques. This method is great for creating straight lines or placing stones randomly to add sparkles. If you want to create a more intricate design, try making an applique first. It's pretty simple. First, make a pattern with a piece of paper. For this one, I roughly traced the shape of the area that I want to cover with appliques on a piece of paper first. And also, I roughly planned out the size and feel of the design. I took a stone that I wanted to work off of to find the right location for it and traced the stone on the paper as well. Then at the desk, I just drew the design I liked. It helps to have some of the larger stones and rhinestone chains you want to incorporate in your motifs when you draw your design. I just outlined the general shapes in this pattern and left the details to be figured out on the fabric. When your design is ready, cut out each motif. And simply place each motif on your fabric and trace it. I recommend you use felt or lycra as the base fabric because these fabrics don't fray. I'm gonna have this motif on either side of the neckline, so I flipped the pattern and traced it again. Now have fun and apply rhinestones using rhinestone glue or by sewing according to your design. I like to start with larger pieces because I usually want larger pieces in specific areas. Then I move on to follow the outline of the motif with the rhinestone chain. Creating a neat outline is very important to creating a beautiful applique, so I recommend you take your time here. And the neat outline gives you the boundaries and guidelines that you can work around. I like to work on symmetrical pieces at the same time because it helps me make sure that the rhinestones are placed in the same manner. Then fill the rest with whatever pieces you like. For small rhinestones, I just use the Gem-Tac glue out of the original bottle, but if it's hard to squeeze out a little bit at a time, you can use glue syringes. Once you're done, let the glue dry for 24 hours. When the glue is dry, take a threaded needle and stitch areas that you feel you could use extra hold, like the rhinestone chain and the large sewn rhinestones. My applique is going on a belly dance dress, so I like to make sure all the stones and chains are secured well. Then take your scissors and cut around the motif. You can cut it very close to the stones, but be careful around the areas where you stitched and don't snip the threads by accident. It might be easier to use small scissors for tight areas. Take your time and clean up the cutout areas. And your rhinestone appliques are complete. Let's apply them to the dress. You'll notice that after the glue is dry, the whole thing becomes stiffer, but you can gently mold it with your hands. Place an applique on the dress and hold it with pins. Once you decide on a good placement, stitch around the applique by hand. There's not much fabric at the very edges, so just go in between stones. As long as the applique is secured well, it's okay. The great thing about using appliques is that you can remove them in the future. So if you want to change the embellishment of the dress, or if you want to use the applique elsewhere in the future, you can easily snip the stitches and save the whole appliques. And that's it! I did the same process for all my appliques and glued on some more rhinestones around the appliques and the mesh cutouts of the dress too. Thanks to the appliques, the neckline design is beautifully symmetrical, and the motifs of the appliques appear more raised than the rest of the stones, which creates more depth to your rhinestone design and makes it look more sophisticated. If you want to make these rhinestone appliques, you can download the free pattern from the link below. Or if you like some sparkly movement pieces on your costume, try sparkly fabric fringe. It's super easy. First, cut your fabric into a rectangular panel like this. The width is your desired fringe length plus 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. The length is how long you want the fringe to be. Using a marker with disappearing ink or something that's easy to erase, draw a horizontal line at 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch from the top edge. Then draw vertical lines. I'm using SS20 rhinestones here, which are about 5 millimeter wide. So I'm making this fringe 8 millimeters wide. It's really up to your preference, but I like each strand to be just a little wider than the rhinestones. Also, thinner strands make more delicate fringe. Then glue on rhinestones on each strand. I placed my rhinestones about a few millimeters apart from each other. It looks nice when the stones are placed the same distance apart from each other. Once the glue dries, take a pair of sharp scissors or rotary blade and cut according to the vertical lines. I recommend using a rotary blade for a clean finish if you have. Take your time and cut these lines as neatly as possible. And do not cut through the top. Stop at the horizontal line so the top ends of the strands are all connected. And your fabric fringe with rhinestones is complete. You can simply sew and apply the fringe tape on a bra top, belt, or a skirt. It's made of stretchy fabric, so you can attach it to a stretchy material and you won't have any problems. You can hide the tape with appliques or more fringe or other embellishments. And if you're excited to keep exploring ways to decorate your dance costumes, I'd love for you to check out the Sparkly Belly All Access membership. You get instant access to all my courses, that's 19 and counting, featuring over 32 stunning designs, including detailed appliques, beading techniques, and more. Whether you want to create a costume from scratch or add your own signature sparkle, everything's inside to help you bring your vision to life. Curious? You can learn more at the link below. So give rhinestoning a try on your next costume. You'll be amazed at how much sparkle and dimension it adds. And if you found this helpful, the next video you'll want to watch is this one. It covers 6 fixes for rhinestone snagging so your costumes will stay gorgeous and dancer friendly. Thanks for watching and keep sparkling!